Welcome back to Status Update right here on Slaghuis TV. Unati Time Zone with the Butin Tavi, Tab, the hip hop analyst. So we're looking at the impact of hip hop. Okay, we're looking at the impact of the internet when it comes to hip hop in terms of lyrical beefs not existing, being non-existent rather, because of Twitter fingers. Now it's a matter of
keyboard wars.
It's keyboard wars. We don't take it to the streets to go battle it out and it's all peace. But what we normally do is, if I have like beef with Untabi, I'll say, I don't think she's dope. And then I know you'll respond there. And it's that whole scramble. Thoughts on that? Being from a school where you witness ciphers battles.
I think it goes back to what we were talking about before as a break, about people jumping onto the bandwagon. You know what I mean? So it's easy to hide behind this. It's easy to hide behind a phone and not have to face. And half of the time, those people who are like keyboard warriors, when you meet up with them, it's a completely different thing. So I feel like I love the internet. Don't get it wrong. I love it because it's given us access to so many other things and so many other artists that would normally not get access to. And I mean, the first time my music got out there, outside of like your hype magazines, it was MySpace. It all started with MySpace, so it was like a platform for us to share our music. So no beef against the internet whatsoever, but I do feel like people who aren't necessarily artists or aspire to be artists can just jump on. Everyone's a rapper these days.
Yes.
It's the only culture or genre that someone can wake up and decide, let me try this rapping thing. I'm going to be a rapper. It's the only one. I mean, you can't wake up tomorrow and decide you're going to be a singer when you got a terrible voice, you know? You can't wake up tomorrow and decide, maybe let me go be a doctor, you know? Let me just start operating on niggas and cutting them up. I don't have to study. But rap, hip-hop, it's the only culture and the only genre where people just jump in and, hey, I'm a rapper. I can't even decide to be a graffiti artist tomorrow if I don't have the skills. I can't draw for shit.
Isn't that attributed by the fact that this industry is growing so big?
Mind you, we must start singing and stuff. Like, let's just all do it.
And everyone thinks they're a writer. Everybody thinks they can rhyme. They can put punchlines together, similes.
Yeah.
It's because, and that's what I'm saying. It's because, like, how many people do you meet up with who say, yo, I've got this mixtape, my homie, please listen to my tape, or I've got this song, I'm trying to do this music thing.
Yeah.
If someone says to you, I am trying to do this, already you have lost me because you are trying to do something that's not you. Why are you trying to do this music thing? It's not a thing, yo. This is shit that raised us. This is stuff we grew up on. It's not some thing in jail.
It was therapy.
You know, like I'm gonna decide, it's not a call center job. It's not a fallback plan. You know what I mean? It's like,
are you going in?
No, it makes me so upset because it's literally like the only genre where people can just decide, I'm gonna do this. They don't do their research. They don't care about where it comes from. They don't care about writing. They don't care about the technique. It's just, I'm doing this rap thing. Okay, what's a 16 here? Can you even count a bar?
ASA. Can't even freestyle to save their lives.
And
a freestyle to them is a rating.
You know, even if you can't freestyle, like not everybody has that gift, and we can't sue people for not being able to spit from the top. But the fact that you're not going to do research on this thing that you want to venture into, you just want to come in and say, oh, okay, I saw this person do it. I'm gonna get a couple of producers. Even people who are like, I'm a producer. Do you know the difference between a producer and an engineer? You know what I mean? It's just like study the craft. If you want to do something, know your history, study it, and do it properly. Be kick-ass.
Are you doing your due diligence though in saying, if you want to do this, let me help you. This is what you should do. This is what you should research. Are you helping
people who approach me as well? With me, what I love about my work is that I do a lot of workshops as well. Like, so I run like writing workshops, and I collaborate with a lot of NGOs in terms of running workshops to help people write. And I have people approach me and say, please, can you help me? I want to learn how to improve my writing, whatever. But there's some things that you can't teach. There's some things that it's either you have it or you don't, and I think that's what we're forgetting when it comes to hip hop. And that's where the internet comes in and it's like, oh, don't worry, even if you don't have it, you can go to YouTube and we can teach you how to do it. You know, how to make a beat 101, how to do, you know what I mean? So everything is a shortcut. So the internet is there, which is great. There's so much information and so much access to information, but it's also like a shortcut for people.
It's a good thing, because I was about to ask you, do you think that we are alive, or we're witnessing the age of spin, where there's the internet, we can get a whole lot of information, yet we can't really utilize it, cutting corners. But getting back to what we said about freestyling, you know that back then you had to go and perhaps attend a hip-hop session like Slaghuis or Splash Jam to get your dues, like that was street cred. So won't you say that now the internet has made it very easy for people to rap and say neglect every other thing, like perhaps battle rap, cyphers, freestyling?
See,
right?
That's the thing. I'm more open-minded to that, right? Because like I said, not everybody is good at battling. Not everyone is good at freestyle.
Yeah.
But you can be an incredible writer.
Cool.
And I'm not gonna now take away from your art because you can't freestyle or you can't battle. We're not all out to battle. Not everyone is made to battle. But there's some people who are exceptional artists, but they just don't have that skill. But you can't now say, you haven't paid your dues, you're not good enough. What if this person has been putting out mixtapes since 1991?
Yeah,
you
like
know what I mean?
Yeah, what if they've been in battles? their whole lives they've been in battles.
I knew it.
But never been in studio. You know what I mean? It happens.
But you learn to be versatile, okay? You learn to be.
But
But do you think that the
exactly.
internet is the new streets, though? Do you think it's the new Gandhi
hell
Square?
no,
It's the new
it will never.
Rapidity
No, the
Jam
internet is the.
Who said the internet is the new streets? We're interviewing someone and they said internet is the new streets.
I refuse to
I will tell you,
believe
it
that.
wasn't it Oman? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Back to the city.
Yeah,
yes,
we
yes.
asked
I
him
can
Was
see,
it
I
Back to
can
the
see
City?
why he says that, but I really don't believe it is, because if you look at most of the people who put their music out on the internet, how many actually end up making it and surviving for a long time? And I was having this conversation. So I have a 16-year-old nephew who now wants to rap. So
Okay.
I took him to the studio and I was like, okay, do your thing. His hook, is cheesecake and lean,
Yo.
Right?
For the serve
So
rappers.
I'm like, do you know what lean is? Number one, if I catch you doing that, if I catch you,
Dirty Sprite.
I'll like, you know,
Yeah.
I will whoop your ass. Like I'll be that auntie. But basically, to him, it was just like I was surprised from that one song that he recorded. He was getting booked.
What?
He was getting booked from one song. He's getting booked, and it's a paying gig. They want to pay him like 1.52. I'm like, you're 15. And that's the power of the internet.
Yeah.
This dude has like 5,000 or so followers on Instagram. I'm like, how, my nigga? Like, how? You're in high school. You see what I mean? And that's the power of the internet.
Yeah.
And that's where we're like, okay, how do we find that balance and how do we use this thing? Because clearly a lot of people are accessing it, but are we being responsible with the kind of content that we're putting on there? Because we can't run away from it. We can't say shut down the internet. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how like that's where it is. So I understand why Omen would say the streets
But
on the new internet. But
are we the generation that's gonna fall behind because of our thinking? How we respond to social media?
are you talking about yourself or me?
I'm talking about the generation that was neglected by the internet.
Exactly.
Or is neglected by the
Exactly.
internet. To say that, there's people out there that have been battling. They might not know a
Maybe, and
studio,
that's
but
what
they're
I'm
putting
saying.
out stuff.
But that's the thing. That's why and it keeps going back to strike a balance.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be in the streets, my nigga, rapping and freestyling in battles for the rest of your life, like that's where it's gonna end. What has that gotten you? No, I'm not-
Six likes on YouTube.
And that's how we wrap up. Oh, no, yeah, I
But
get what you say.
Now, how do you take what you want
Yeah.
to do and now use this thing that we have to your advantage? You know what I mean? Because even with the internet, guys, I could say, you're gonna put out songs, put out hits, but how's that gonna help you when it comes to live performances? So it's all about like, where do you strike that balance? Because sometimes as purists, you get so caught up in being a purist and then you get stuck in that phase and that age, and then it sounds like you're being bitter and you don't want to move.
Exactly.
Times have changed, guys. Like, it's not the same. You're not going to find me at Gandhi Square rapping or battling any. I don't. First of all, I'm not in that space anymore. That you do that because you want to pay your dues. So I'm not in that space. I've paid my dues. It's time to level up and move to the next one. You know what I mean? I know we need to be cutthroat and be honest in this industry now, but I don't understand why we are experts of how other people should maneuver in their careers. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say no. Don't dance in a bikini or whatever. If that's what you want to do it.
Nobody thought Casper's ponytail would take him far. Here he is. Here he is. You know what I mean?
We've become these experts on how people should move and how they should. Everyone knows how you should sound, but I'm like, okay, if that's how you do it. If you think that's the right way to do it, then you do it. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, though. It's a matter of, again, what we're talking about, which is, I think, the worst thing to ever happen to hip-hop. Them jumping in, them being internet thugs and not understanding the history, not knowing who Afrika Bambaataa is, Koeherk, coming down to the history of South Africa, Lee Club. You know, it has birthed a lot of successful people. Rap Activity Jam. They're not aware of Harambe. They're not aware of the bridge.
How do we make them aware without making it a war? How do you make them aware? Because think of it, if you're a child and your mom is constantly shouting at you and bashing, eventually you don't even listen anymore. You know what I mean? So how do we educate them without making it seem like you must do this, you will do that? You know what I mean? So what are you doing to, number one, earn respect from the younger kids? How are you carrying yourselves? Because we end up like, you don't know who I am, I'm an OG, but you're not gonna gain any respect in that way. They're like, fuck you, how much do you make? I make more than you. I make more than your parents. You know what I mean? So what are we doing to make sure that history is doesn't die out? What are we doing to make sure that history lives on?